welcome back to Home with Marissa. I'm Marissa Jackson, and this is part 2 of fixing our sinking deck. In part 1, we removed these top deck boards so we could get to the 2x8s underneath that were cracking and splitting and causing our deck to be bouncy and no longer safe and secure. In this part, we'll be digging down about 12 inches using this auger that we rented from Home Depot. We'll be setting 2 concrete footers here and 3 on the other side to put our new 6x6 support system. If I sound a little under the weather, it's because I did a rookie mistake of not wearing proper PPE, like a face cover, in part 1. So this time I've got my earmuffs, my face mask, and my eye protection, and we'll see how dirty this gets by the end of it. So you may be able to tell our auger gave up on us. So we're going to have to go back to Home Depot to exchange it. We improvised with our baby auger that works in a similar fashion, just not quite as fast. So we're just kind of scooping it out a little bit, clearing out this hole to see if hopefully we are about deep enough. We did find a vintage brick. That's pretty exciting. And moment of truth to see if we are deep enough. We've got our lines drawn on the side. Like I said, it needs to be about 12 inches deep. And then we're going to cut the tube to about 16 inches, 14 inches, just to give it some room to set. And it looks like we should be good. So we're going to get this one started and then go to Home Depot, switch it out, and hopefully the rest will go a lot smoother and a lot faster. Okay, despite some challenges and obstacles and surprises in our holes, we have successfully augered our 5 holes that we needed. And next step will be filling them with concrete to make our footers. So today I will be doing the remaining 4 concrete footers. I'll be using the Quick Tube as our form. It's a 12-inch diameter, and we are going down about 12 inches in those holes we dug. And then this one is cut to 14 inches tall, so it'll have just a little extra on the top. It took about 2 bags to fill it, and we are using the Quikrete high strength concrete mix. I'll be pouring each bag into the wheelbarrow, adding water and mixing with my little shovel. I like to mix it until it's, kind of well saturated but not soupy, so I can still scoop it into the form pretty easily. And then we're going to let that set for about 3 to 4 days before we drill into it and install our hardware for our post. It is a dusty job, so I'm going to put on my face mask and jump down there, and we will knock these out. yes or no? These are all spider egg sacs. Um, can I rebuild my deck? Yes. Can I face approximately 1 trillion baby spiders? No. The next step is getting our base tie secured to our concrete footers. I am using our Bauer hammer drill just to drive that central hole, and then taking a hammer to our Redhead True Bolt wedge anchor, just driving that down into the concrete, placing that 6x6 base tie back on top, and then securing everything with the hex nut and washer that came with our anchor. That way it'll be nice and secure and ready for our post. Okay, so we have replaced our joists, we have poured our footers, we have our posts. Now we are cutting our beams. And yes, we did just Google all of these terms to make sure we were actually using the correct terms and not just saying that piece of wood over there. So like I said, this is going to be our beam. This is our 2x10 that's 12 foot long. We need 6 foot, so two 6 feet long boards. We're going to cut this one in half, put those together, and let those rest on our 6x6s. And I promise this will make a lot more sense once we actually have the system in place, so just stick with us. Now that our 6x6 posts have been cut down to size, we're going to send them through the table saw just to do a notch system and allow our beams to rest on those so we can secure the beams to the post, which is secured to the concrete footers, and then will be secured to the joist up above, and just giving it a much more stable and solid feel that was definitely missing before. quite a few of our deck boards laid, and so we're going to go ahead and start drilling those down. We are pre-drilling some holes before our screws go in, so that way it doesn't split towards that edge of the wood. And we are using a 4-inch deck screw to go through our wood and those beams below. So that is a wrap when it comes to reinforcing below both sides of our deck and replacing a lot of these deck boards on top. And if you remember, we originally quoted about $2,200 to do this job from somebody else. So the real question is, was it worth it? We do think so. So lumber ended up costing about $400. The deck ties, deck screws, and hardware was right around $260. We rented a 2-person auger for a day at about $100. We had the concrete and the concrete tubes for about $55, and then kind of just miscellaneous items for about $35 for an all-in grand total of $850. So was it worth it? Financially, absolutely. Emotionally and the physical toll of doing it ourselves, it was worth it still too. We have learned a lot for this project. We know what to do, what not to do. So we will also be reinvesting that money that we saved back into this deck project of making it more beautiful and more functional to entertain on. So follow along for those videos as well. We'll see you then.